Hello and welcome. My name is James Ross and I'm a reporter for CasinoBeats and SlotBeats. And today I am privileged to welcome TrueLab's recently appointed CEO, Igor Samardziski. Welcome, Igor. How are you today?
Yes. Very well, man. Thanks for catching my surname. It's hard to pronounce, but it's good. It's good. I appreciate the effort.
No, I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So, the first question I kind of just want to ask: what enticed you to take up the role as CEO at TrueLab?
Well, James, I mean, I've been on the C-level for a while, usually on the operation side. Well, mostly on the operation side. I had sold my business back in 2018, so it took a while to decide whether I wanted to take on another leadership role so to take a more, I would say, micromanaging approach to a business rather than sort of pull back from the investment perspective. And in the last couple of years, after exiting, the day-to-day operations, I've consulted some businesses, some very large-scale companies and small, and I came across TrueLab. Actually, at the time, it was one of the shareholders had approached me about some consultancy for their operations. And during the conversation, I mean, James, I've consulted really big businesses, and usually I feel like I have what to contribute and I have what to say and who to educate. And these are companies that have been around for a while, and they had a structure, and they had, And then these couple of shareholders come about and say, "Hey, we are from blockchain initially industry. We really want to get into gaming, and we want to create something worthwhile." I didn't take them that seriously at first. Honestly, I didn't. They were like, there's so many small businesses that come out, and then come, we really want to make something big. But the guys, in a span of a year and a half, had built a platform, a fully fledged operation platform, which was really good. Now, I've built 3 platforms in my life. 2 of them got sold for a lot of money. So I know what it takes to build a good platform. It's not easy, and especially not in like a year and some change. They've done that. They've built an operation. They had a couple of operating websites and a game studio. They started concepts of the game studio. So back then, like a couple of years ago, I said, "Guys, there's not much I can consult you on. You're already running ahead of most companies I've seen. I kind of feel like I'm stealing money if I come in and tell you do this, do that. I'm not sure I could do what you're doing. So, just get on with your journey and good luck." That was some time ago. Yeah? We did exchange, I gave them some advice. We did spend some time working together, but not in an official capacity. A couple of years passed by. I was doing some interviews recently, and we kept in touch here and there. And for me, it was a few years after the sale. I had already settled into my sort of retirement and got the itch to get back into the game. I knew I didn't want to do operations. And serendipity, man. It really was at the right time. One of the shareholders reached out. It's like, "Hey, are you still available?" I said, "Actually, I'm considering getting back in the game." The guys have done phenomenally well since then, and they were still as impressive as they were back then. And I kind of felt if I'm going to take a shot working and leading a business, it's going to be with the team that I really believed in from the very beginning. That was sort of the initiation story of me coming on board with TrueLab.
Looking at your previous roles, how do you think these have shaped your leadership style, and how will it improve TrueLab going forward?
James, I come from operations, right? So if you take a look at the last 15 years that I've been in the industry, since 2004, 2005, it's very operation focused. So I've had, and entrepreneurial as well. So I've had a range of affiliate sites, which I had built very early, back in 2004-05, sold them very early on. Moved on to bets and management of affiliates, then Betfair management of casinos, our own casinos, our own business. It's always been operational. And the leadership style, I think you discover, it's not easy to discover your leadership style. And I think it comes when you form that one business that you're really going to put your heart and soul into. And I have found that I like to believe that I am people focused and goal oriented. So from my past experiences, I've realized that very often we would hire from within the ranks and groom the people up the ranks rather than hire from outside in. In some cases, obviously, you need to bring in external expertise, but I found it was very difficult to keep the soul of a firm if you aggregate senior positions from all the different corners of the industry, right? You have to have an identity and a vision. And the vision was always player-centric, customer-centric. It was always a belief that we come from the entertainment industry, no matter what. Yes, we have some self-regulation to do, and it's a very peculiar vertical of entertainment spectrum, but nonetheless, we're there for fun. And that means a clean, healthy experience. So if I had to categorize it, it really would be about player focus and experience focus. It is about the people within the firm. It is about grooming and motivating and inspiring the people that create your product and make sure that your product functions. And it really is about achieving very specific set of goals, very goal-oriented approach. Those would be sort of the three main pillars that moved me forward as a leader. And from TrueLab's perspective, what will it add? The people are already great. I mean, the guys really, I mean, it's not hard to succeed with this team. They are very well motivated, but I believe they can benefit from operational level of education, from operational point of view. And I think I can really bring that to the table, that education element and player focus.
So what are your key goals as CEO of TrueLab to kind of move the company forward?
Look, it's a small studio, right? It's we have a portfolio of about 10 to 12 games. We have a couple of partnerships with various aggregators and other studios. We supply games to other studios. Quite frankly, when I look at our game quality, when I look at both statistical representation of how our games operate in the market currently, and when I look at the team, concept art, processes, and so on, I have so much faith. I have so much faith in one of those really powerful success stories. And my goals, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but to make that a reality, to realize those, to realize the potential. If I were to portray it tangibly, quite frankly, I've doubled the production requirements for next year, so more titles. We have done that very strategically in terms of breaking down the teams based on different game styles, different player demographics. So we started by structuring players and player behavior analysis and applying game concept to players and introducing, let's say, a reformatting of the production line to the existing team and expanding the teams. So honestly, if I had to say the key goal isn't even about revenue straight away, which is weird for a CEO to say, but it is about delivering the right product to the market. It is about understanding the market. And it is about developing a business relationship that is nested in understanding the operators and their, let's say, gripes, grievances, and challenges throughout their operation, applying that knowledge to us. And then, I mean, the revenue will come. That's an old adage.
So what are TrueLab's ambitions moving forward then with you at the helm? Like, will we see more entrances into regulated markets?
Yes, absolutely, yes. Look, it has to start with a well-defined understanding of the market. I'm at the risk of repeating myself, but it really is the crux of it. Understand the demographic, understand the market movements. And because we are a small studio at its inception, predominant focus for the next 6 to 12 months will be that, is that. But that said, each market carries its own perks, benefits, and I don't know, it adds its own je ne sais quoi to the mix, right? This intangible element where if you are building your game portfolio product, you do need to focus on what the Nordic culture enjoy, what the Central European cultures enjoy. And that needs to be connected to the commercial structure of what that means for your revenue, to the average bet, number of spins per user. Bring that down into tangible commercial goals and achievements. So are we going to go and expand regulatory? Yes, absolutely. Are we going to do that from day one? I'm not interested in that. We are going to see a product continue to improve. We are going to see a product that is built with the future regulatory expansion in mind. So we will build games that are themed and structured for a demographic, for a specific place. And then we will pursue those regulations. So it really is about product first. It really is about players first, and then we will follow with the commercial expansion. But definitely regulated markets are on the table for 2022 and 2023.
As player preferences kind of continue to change, how would TrueLab look to, develop the titles with the players kind of at the forefront of the minds during the development?
Yeah, see, that's really interesting. It's a really good question. Look, break down the industry, right? It's such a funny cycle. It started by casinos not being casinos. Go back down to 2000, early 2000, late 1990s, pre-regulation days, early 2000s, pre-2006 when US pulled out, right? Let's take a look at that. What you had were not operators. What you had were white labels of game providers. If a casino wanted to enter the market, they would go to Microgaming or Playtech or Boss Media or Cryptologic or these old titles that probably half our audience wouldn't even know existed at the time, monsters at the time, which said, hey, here's a game portfolio, here is a selection of payment solution, credit cards, and so on. Here's your back office platform, go. And you're just a glorified reseller over a specific selection of game brands. That was before the seamless wallets. That was before market integration. So you had game providers controlling the market, and customers would choose a casino based on the game provider that casino represents. Enter post 2008, 2009, entry of the seamless wallet. All of a sudden, casinos are all about service. They're all about selection of the game portfolio. More games, more successful they have, more acquisition you get, right? And what we are seeing now, you've got an expansion of white labels. Seamless wallet has exploded the operator level industry, right? And then let's take a look at 2015-16 onwards. M&As, operators standardize, white labels don't spring out at like a rate of 300 a year. Many casinos that have not met the bare minimums fold. Large operators merge, Paddy Power, Betfair, and various other combinations. What has happened? A whole bunch of new game providers and studios come out. We went back to product leading the market. So we went from product leading the market to service leading the market, back to product leading the market. But now we're entering into a range where we do have a lot of competitors, and what a lot of competition tends to do is two things: bring out ingenuity in rare pockets and a lot of churn of what has previously been successful. So for us, we don't want to fall into the trap of churning previous game designs. There's also a lot to be said about not reinventing the wheel. So we've taken a look at the players and what the players want. We've taken a look at the players' behavior over time. What do they buy with their investment? What do they buy with their losses? What do they buy with their winnings? In terms of when I say buy, we are purchasing their attention. So how are we engaging them? From our strategy, it really is about structuring slots. And structuring slots in a interactive, engaging mode. So that's multiple storylines. We are currently working on a TrueLab universe of characters. We have a few games where characters are pushing through multiple games. So we said, hey, take a look at Marvel. Look at Marvel there. Take a look at DC Comics. why don't we make really cool backstories? Let's blend those together in different styles. We're talking Sin City style, 3D cartoonish and so on. Let's bring different universes from games together. Without exposing too much, we are looking at two verticals. One, create what works. Simple, standard games that just simply people enjoy. Good graphics, good sounds, not too intrusive, excellent mathematics, nothing too extremely volatile, just reasonable, good time spent. And then have something that, once a quarter people go, oh, wow, all right, that came out. I think that would be the best way to describe where we're headed.
What plans do TrueLab have to educate players more on the product development, and how will the company enhance its responsible gambling commitments?
It's great. It's a two-part question, and it's not coincidence. So I'm gonna tackle each part independently, right? So how do we educate players on products developed? Frankly, a big strategy for us is brand recognition and community. So our head of marketing is currently working on developing direct B2C relationships with the community by being actively engaged in player forums and player debates and discussion, the dialogue about what works, what doesn't work, what players want to see, as well as our own product representation. There is something to be said about educating players through the operator, right? So there's an element of engagement that operators are responsible for, not an element. There is an engagement cycle that the operators are responsible for, which detaches from the experience a player has when they engage into a game. You see, an operator sits outside of that experience. Player plays a game that belongs to a game provider. What happens internally in the game mechanics is known to us, not necessarily to the operator. Yet operator is responsible for the player engagement, for the player management and life cycle. A player may enjoy TrueLab title on multiple casinos, but nonetheless, we are responsible to each and every one of our clients. So we are we are implementing the development of promotional tools that will link specific events within the game process. So whether that would be collection of very rare symbols that happens once in a while, whether that would be a dry spell where a customer would really go through a number of spins, which it's randomness, it can happen, where a customer would have not necessarily a very pleasant experience, where they need to be caught then, their back needs to be patted, they need to be brought through that sort of level of dissatisfaction. High highs, low lows, in-game analysis. We plan, aim, and have put steps into place to work deeply in a symbiotic relationship with our customers, where a player experience while they're engaged with our titles is managed both from the operator perspective, but also from us. I think that's part of the education that happens passively through experience itself. And actively, as you said, it is about community. It is about building our own community. It is about understanding which tournaments and promotions, what happens on our network of operators, and a place where our clients, TrueLab clients, can come and voice their concerns, voice their thanks, appreciations, and engage with one another. Responsible gambling commitments are extremely important for us. In fact, one of our sister companies has been, I can't remember actually whether it's shortlisted or actually won an award for the best responsible gambling solution, platform solution that we had developed. It's always been there. It's one of the reasons why I decided to join TrueLab, why I like the team. They really wanted a straightforward, clean business with a success story, and they have achieved that. We have achieved that.
What can we expect from TrueLab in the next 6 to 12 months?
Bullet format, titles that are more demographically spread out to focus on specific player clusters and subclusters. So we will be building titles that are player type centered. This year, our responsible gambling and promotional tools for customer engagement, customer management are being rolled out in Q4, and they are being delivered to across our network. 2022 will see twice the amount of product coming out. So we are committing to anywhere between 4 and 6 titles per quarter. I'd like to see 6 titles a quarter, but that depends on the quality of the titles. Yeah, that depends on quality control. You know, you don't want to release something, even if you don't manage to hit your timeline, you want to release quality. That's the first rule. So 4 to 6 titles per quarter next year. Yeah, that's the next 6 and 12 months. There are future goals, but I'm sure we'll have another interview sometime.
No, definitely. I can say it sounds like there's going to be an exciting future ahead for TrueLab, certainly with you at the helm. I just want to say thank you for kind of joining us today and just speaking to us about your new role, and honestly, best of luck.
James, I really appreciate the invite, and I'm more than happy to talk about TrueLab anytime.